Howdy folks, here we are at Starbase Jeff. Oh, no, wait, this is actually Meandering Mike at the Man Cave of Madness. That's just a weird little game I bought the other day. Today I'm going to do something a little different. Here we are on the game table loaded with all sorts of junk. Yeah, that's a whole pile of different kind of tweezers. Someone had a request about my dice collection, and I actually haven't been able to find there's cards, there's pieces. I have found some boxes of miscellaneous dice stuff. Get an idea of the kind of things I collect. My role-playing game dice are somewhere else, but I like to buy all sorts of weird dice for gameplay and game design purposes. Direction dice, forward, back, left, up, back, forward, etc. So that's weird kind of stuff that I buy. Extra dice for the game Massive Darkness. I don't know, you can see that. I like all sorts of different custom dice, unique dice, different color dice. So you can see these guys. These are dice for Champions. If you've ever played Champions or any other hero game system, but in particular Champions, you know you need a lot of dice. Basically, in Champions, a quote-unquote normal attack does a die 6 of damage for every 5 points into power. And some campaigns will limit the active attack power. But let's say you got a character that's got a 60 strength. That'd be 12 dice for a normal punch. If he doesn't like a haymaker, that's 1.5 times multiplier. That's 18 dice. If you had 100 strength, that's 20 dice. So, you know, haymaker would be 30 dice of damage. I'm not sure if you can see these through the bag there. Yeah, so there's those little pips on the bottom. In Champions, you count normal damage for stun, but the pips are the amount of body damage. So normally a 1 on a die, which is the hero symbol, does no body. 2 through 5 does 1 body, and a 6 does 2. And, you know, that's easy enough to count up. We didn't have a problem with regular dice, but for some people, it's a little harder. So you can actually count the pips on these dice that were bought from the Champions online store, or Hero Games online store, I guess it's called. What other weird stuff we got in here? Dice bag, Double Night Games. I think that was the last one they had. You gotta be able to have enough dice, right? So 126 dice. So, I believe that's an extra dice. It's from a Richard board game. I believe it's Battle Lore, but I'm not certain. Can't remember. Let's see. Bunch of mini dice. These things are normally, I don't like dice that small. I'm not sure if they're as true as a little bigger dice. I don't have my dice towers out here. Anyway, I like a little bigger, but these were hard to pass up. They were on sale at Miniature Market. So I was getting at least like $2.50 for those. Retro dice, Space Invaders. Yeah, it's the little guys from the Space Invaders, 1 through 6 pips. Don't ask me why, right? You know, fun. Maybe you're playing a retro game of some alien invasion thing. Now, do I need this many dice? No, of course not. But since I'm working on different game designs and you know, might need at some point to do different prototypes. You know, you might have different colored dice. You might have to use a bunch of dice to throw in those prototype boxes. So, what other junk's in here? Those are Magic the Gathering life counting. So other stuff, you know, bits and pieces. Whenever I can buy these at sale, I'll get those kind of things. Miniatures, standees. I believe these are blank decks of card. Yeah, all the stuff for game design. You know, you never know what you need. You gotta buy everything, right? Blank cubes. Take a Sharpie to those puppies. Make your own custom dice for prototyping. I mean, obviously you wouldn't sell a game that way, but for prototyping, yeah, you don't want to, yeah, and in different colors. Some of these blank dice sets you can get that have stickers. I don't see any in here. But yeah, it's a whole bunch of them. Yeah, you got to have all these different colors. So there's that. Let me pop over here. Make some room. Let me. Good old cloth bags. That's Poets of the Fall. If you've never listened to Poets of the Fall, they're a really great Finnish rock band from Finland. Finnish. They're great. Go and listen to their Carnival of Rust. You can find it on YouTube. You can listen to it on Amazon Music. Their very first hit was from a computer game, Max Payne. I think it was Max Payne 2. They did the ending song that you're rewarded with at the end. A Late Goodbye. It's a really great tune. They're actually dice in here, so listen to Poet of the Fall. They're not my sponsor, anything like that. Okay, I've talked about Plasti Bands before. These things are, obviously I've bought too many of them. Obviously I probably couldn't find them. They were stashed away somewhere and I kept buying more. But these 4 1/4 inch bands, 100 pieces, these will fit most typical standard war games. They're like really too big for decks of cards and little or tinier boxes. And they might, in really, really big, like flat boxes of some kinds, they'll stretch too much. So they do have, let's see, one of a sorted size, 100 pieces. Let's see if I can. These range from, yeah, there are little tiny ones, up to 6 inch bands, down to 1.5 inch bands. So there's 1.5 and 2 1/4 are great for card decks or stacks of tiles in various games. The 3 1/4 ones are good for little smaller form factor games. And then, yeah, those 6 inch ones are great for really large things. Like if you don't, your Milton Bradley Axis and Allies or Fortress America or whatever. So, boy, I got a bunch of those. I don't know if there's dice in this bag. Wait, I see dice. Did you see the dice? Nah. All right, that's actually is a large chunk of my stash of role-playing dice. See that green 4-sided? That is my favorite. Old Game Science die 4s where the corners aren't too sharp. They have the flattened off points to the tetrahedron. This, I think, might be a little more modern one. It might have a sharper edge, but those are awesome. These die 8s. Those were my favorite back in the day. I think like this one has a sharper. That's a more modern Game Science. This is an old one. Got it back in the late 70s, early 80s. Great stuff. So that's obviously not all of them. But what is in here? Goodness. More tweezers. So I call my channel the man of too many tweezers. A whole bunch of garbage. What is that? Some kind of Warcraft minis game. Yeah, Warcraft miniatures game. Well, I don't want to go through this whole bag because I don't think it's... Good Lord. Now, some of these are tweezers for different purposes. Different kind of crafting. Notepad for journaling, game design stuff. Ah, there it is. I was wondering what it was. My box. Somewhere else. There's my deluxe lamination organometric corner rounder. Technically, they're for cutting the corners, like on plastic cards, like you're making a badge or, you know, the equivalent of, like, I suppose if you're forging credit cards or something. I'm not suggesting any forging credit card, but perfect for cardboard counters. For those of you that do it, for those that don't, please ignore that. Don't be disgusted by the thought of homelessness. Yeah, 3-pack of more tweezers. Wait, more dice. This one, more dice. Deep in the depths. All right. Oh yeah, yes. Nice black with colored pips. You know, sometimes you gotta shake it up. You want a little more kind of psychedelic. Maybe turn down the lights. Get some black light posters out. Some nice fuzzy velvet. Some MC Escher posters or something. All right. What's in there? Oh. Orsic Industries counter clips, magnetic stuff for holding counters onto, a magnet that you put, magnetic sheet that you mount your map to and have your games on the wall or a surface. We did that just a little bit back in the day. Oh, I hear more dice. White with colored pips. All right. Black and white, red all over. Those are them. Oh, I see a device sticking through there. These were, I don't know why these, specifically this baggie. I like these black and red ones. I'm not sure where I got them. And these green and white ones are, there was at least one other green and white there. I need to keep those together. There's some certain favorite dice that I get that I'll use over and over. Oh, minis, wall, gotta paint those things up. Excuse my French. Those are some kind of straps for, I think we've just got weird junk left in here. We'll call this one quits. Spork multitude. Oh yes, this was a gift from my mother. Christmas, I believe. Nice to get utility things. All right, let me move that out of the way. Poets of the Fall, don't forget. Carnival Rust, one of their best albums. All their albums are pretty good. The latest one is Ghost Lights, also pretty strong. All right, so now, are we done? Or is he going to tire this after 12 minutes of this? Well, you wanted to see dice. I'll show you more dice. Because here's where we get even more crazy. Yes, when there are sales at... I'm going to have to put the phone down for a sec to try to open this bag with 2 hands. I like to pick up weird dice games. Alligator. And I'll shop. Noble Night Games. Special Winter Sales. Cow, the dice game. Crosswords, dice game. Frog, the dice game. If you get weird things like that really cheap. What is this? Bar, the dice game. 2 gamers went into a bar. I don't know how the joke will go, but we can make it up. Let's see. Other weird dice. There's this huge... What is this? 10 Commandments dice. Thou shalt not. You might be playing a role-playing game. You might be playing Testament or something. You might need that. Or maybe you want to affect your NPCs and have them behave in certain ways or whatever. Rainbow Spotted Dice. That's not a game. That's just more dice. White dice. Aha! So in some states where it's 420 friendly, you need your hemp dice, marijuana dice. Or you can have the dice if you can't have it anyway in your state. USA States Dice Game. Oh, well, you know, you might need astrological signs, planets, signs, numbers. Now, I'm not a follower of astrology. I think at times it can be interesting to see what people have to say, and you can introspect and use it as a tool. And in some games, astrology could be part of the magic system. That's often fun, where you can alter the planets and moons and stuff change, you know, add some spice into your role-playing games. These are just blank dice. Bought a bunch of these. Either white or ivory blank dice. Great for making custom dice for game designs. Yep, here's a case of blank cubes with stickers. Well, you know, as if you could easily get your own stickers. More blank dice. What's this here? Virtue and Sin die. Faith. Pride. Sloth. Anger. Justice. Fortitude. I'm probably not showing that very well. Sorry, guys. Prudence. Hey, you know, again, maybe you want a paladin to act a certain way, or some evil character, or whatever. You can come up with a good reason to use these. More blank dice. What do we have here? Cats and Nines game. Now there's cats. I don't know. Is there actually nines? That may probably have to add up to 9 or something. I don't know. More blanks. Blanks. Aha, more astrology dice. Well, you had green and red. You can't just have one color, right? These could be like opposing factors of magic, or the good and the evil, or whatever. So, you know, green and red there. Oh, last couple. Ladybug dice game. Drop Dead dice game. How nice. Plus 2 other games. Wow. 3 dice games in one little package. Of course, they look like just normal dice. So, is that it, folks? No, 17. You're probably getting bored. You can stop at any time you want. Fudge system, I believe. Or is it the Fate system? Or did both the Fudge system and the Fate system use the same? That was not coming out. Accelerated core dice. This must be Evil Hat. Fate, yeah. Okay. Well, can you see over there? Oh, there's a huge bag. I should just pour all this stuff out. More Champions dice. Meeples. Gotta have meeples. Well, you war gamers like, stay away from meeples, but I do war games and other games. So, these, I believe, are from Warhammer. Don't want to lose those. Like, was it Warhammer 4th edition? Or 5th? I can't even remember what edition they're on. Goodness. Antares. Now, these just might be nothing other than plain old die 10s. I don't know if there's anything special about these. But I think these were on a deep discount at miniature. Or others die 6s too. And a die 4. Oh, there must be. What is that? Is that die 3 or some weird shapes? I don't know. Here's another one. What is that? Oh, Cosmic Wimp Out. I think there's been quite a number of versions of Cosmic Wimp Out published by different publishers. And occasionally I'll get fancy dice sets. I don't normally like ones that are too fancy, get hard to read. These numbers are very clear. You know, they're delineated inside the hexagon within each triangle face. Easy to read. And so these were also pretty cheap when I bought them. Some people love to collect all the different fancy dice. Oh, more Warhammer. Yes, I should put those back in the main Warhammer box so I don't get lost. Imperial Assault. You know, I'm not even sure if I have the Star Wars Imperial Assault game. But I bought the dice because they were cheap. On sale. Probably Miniature Market again. That's... So, I don't know how much more I should ramble on here. It's been 20 minutes, but you wanted to see Iron Kingdoms. So, see, these are ones, again, they're kind of fancy dice. But again, the numbers legible. When the numbers in a weird font and they're hard to read, now I'm assuming this robot symbol, that's probably replacing the 6, since it's not replacing the 1. Usually when they have a die with one special symbol, it's replacing either the 1 or the 6. And you'll have to learn and know which it is, obviously. This is like one of the zombie games. Those are just tokens. Heck, you can use those for all sorts of things, different markers. For you folks who play a lot of World War II war games, gotta have your custom dice, you know. You can have China in World War II, the Americans, the Japanese, Rising Sun, Germany, Iron Cross, I believe that's supposed to be, is that Imperial Russia, or, no, because we've got Soviet Union here for World War II. So those Italian, is that, did Italy in World War II use the eagle? Someone tell me. Let's see, that's obviously the British. What, what is that? It looks like another crown. So is that Australians or Canadians? Oh no, here's Canadian Maple Leaf. So is that the Aussies? Someone tell me. Did the French use that cross? Anyway, so if you want to roll your dice in Axis and Allies or whatever game you're playing, and you want to have the dice of the right thing, those are like gemstones. Those aren't dice. So, you know, role-play game. Oh, all right. It's to represent loot, gems, whatever, or in a prototype for a game, this can represent various kind of loot or whatnot. All right. Geek Dice from Alien Lab. Does this thing open on a magnet? Yep. This is your famous rock, scissor, paper, lizard Spock. So, you know, rock, paper, scissors is your standard, and then made famous in Big Bang Theory is adding lizard Spock. So it's a 5-way instead of a 3-way thing. So, Geek Dice. Fun if you want to have fun with it. Oh, goodness. So I'm going to cut it short here. I think, well, extra dice. Some of you will recognize these. Hero Quest. Hits, shields, monster, defense, or whatever. I think a normal hit, a defense, and that's specific to the monsters. Gotta have extra Hero Quest dice. Here's some of the other things. Got a lot of these weird language-based dice. These are interrogative dice. Can't really see that the whole thing there. It's covered up, but who, what, when, where, why, which. Interesting. That's not normally entered. Where that could be used for storytelling games and you know, Star Wars X-Wing, more dice. So I'm not seeing them in here. They're probably buried in the bottom. But one of the things, geez. See, sometimes I just keep buying way too much. More blank dice, blank dice, blank dice, blank dice. Blank dice. Well, here you go. For the kids. or the kid in you, Disney Rainbow Collection. So good old Mickey and Pluto. Interesting that Minnie is not number, Pluto's number 2. What the heck is this one? RPG Day. Oh yes, I'm gonna get one free die. So here's an example of, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see this through that bag. Get it in focus. Hard to read the numbers, especially through the bag. But so I always encourage players to have readable dice. Vanguard. It's a miniatures game. Miniatures line with the game with the various custom dice again. So one of the things I wanted to show was these foreign language dice. I bought a bunch that, oh goodness. All right, let's randomize some time. I mean, obviously 1 through 12 could do the hour day, but then he got in minutes, every 5-minute increments or whatever, to make 60 minutes in the hour. So you can generate any. It's 11:35. You never know when you just really. So some referees are very random oriented, and others like to decide everything. Oh, goodness. Color dice, colors. Yeah, you can make a game out of that. Not sure if there's force any specific game in the replacement dice. Animal dice. Horses and monkeys and ants and fish. And all sorts of good stuff. What is that? I see. Stick figure dice. Well, it looks like small, medium, large. That's what it is. I mean, obviously, you could use this for teaching your kids the difference between small, medium, large. You could use it for generating random encounters. You know, what size force, what size monster, whatever. I mean, seriously, there's so many tools for spurring your imagination if you're stuck. You know, so there's just an endless supply of these. I think this is from Arcadia Quest. What does that say? AQ? Yeah, I think it's Arcadia Quest. Wow. So, see there's still a ton there. I should just pour it out on the floor and see if I can find the ones that I'm looking for. I'm going to do it. I'm going to pour it out on the floor. You can't see me doing this correct. There you go. Aha! Here are Roman numeral dice. I'm just going down for a second to open up the Ziploc. Sorry, folks. Not really having technical difficulties. All right, Roman numeral dice. You know, if you're really into your period times and you're doing Roman ancient role playing, why not use stuff? I get ones in a bunch of different languages, and so like my goal was to use some of these for like Empire of the Petal Throne or equivalent, or like I can't read Solyani. I am not going to learn to write Solyani, but you might want to have dice that are exotic that you might use for certain things, that if the players are willing to invest the time to learn. Thai numbers, Japanese, Hindi. So you can use these to add flavor to your different, kingdoms and empires in your role-playing game. You can actually use them for actual education, for learning about those languages. Goodness. Oh, we got like I think these are from a zombie game. Some kind of zombie apocalypse or something. Anything interesting in here? Lost Tomb Secrets. These were very cheap on clearance. So they're weird die 20s. Yeah, you can't really see that through the package. But do I have too much garbage? Of course. Will I use all of this? No, of course not. Now, you know, most of you are familiar with the normal polyhedra dice, but you never know when you need a die 3, a die 7, a die 24, or whatever. Here they are. It's your variety of strange dice. So, like I said, I bought a whole bunch of these really cheap, right? So you never know when you need more dice, or you're building a prototype for a dice game that uses a bucket of dice. I think those are Mantic. It's the same guys that did that Warrior Kings, or what was it? Vanguard. And they're sort of interchangeable because they're different colors, but there's the same symbol set on them, I believe. So the other ones were out, and I'm going to print out of stock. Slot machine dice, cherries and bars and lemons and apples. All right, folks, I think I'm gonna cut it quits. Quickly point at anything there that you see that's interesting in the last minute. Look, what are these? These are game Coma Ward. I've never heard of it. They just look kind of cool. They were semi-translucent red dots. Oh, goodness. Oh, my gosh. Well, you also have to have coins and stuff, right? Hold on. Just a second again. I need a nice good stand and an overhead view. Pour it out. Again, you wargamers like, oh, we don't need no plastic coins. Yeah, you don't. But hey, if you're playing and designing whatever hits your fancy. Broken Token. These are hefty metal coins here, man. Plastic. These are metal coins. I mean, role-playing game, if you actually have a bunch of your cool-looking, you know, ancient-looking, the plastic ones, but like a bunch of different metal coins. And especially if, you know, somewhere in that loot, there's a special coin, a magic coin, some coin with ancient significance. Maybe there's a curse or something, some lore attached to it. Okay, here's another bag of coins. Can't remember what game this came from. But here, you know, there's a bunch of silver and gold and bronze coins. Scythe metal coin set. These are kind of, you can see through with a nice sword on them. They're supposed to be like platinum coins. But anyway, all right. I think that's going to be it, guys. This has gone on way, way, way too long. Oh, there's one interesting one here. Reach. These are like wood carving burned in the surface, so they're very light wooden dice. I don't know if there's a werewolf game or something. Claw marks, like 1, 2, 3 claw marks. Oh, here we got Mako miniatures. I can't read that. Those are kind of cool. They're very light, so I don't know how good they are, how true they would roll. Oh my goodness, and I have so many of those Space Invaders dice. More of these dice here. Oh, more astrology. So yellow, red, and green. You know, that's even better. 3 different forces of magic and how they're going to be affected by the astrology when they're ascendant. I think these are my knuckle bones, which are literally not actual, but they're supposed to simulate dice made from bone. So that's, I can't remember if those came from some pirate game or something like that. Rum and Bones, isn't that it's over there somewhere, I don't know. So, okay, so now I really should cut it off. Start up. More plastic coins. Last chance for something interesting. Great variety of, what's this company called? The Q something. It makes a bunch of dice, and see those I usually find are too hard to read. These look like plus or minus like fate dice, but free RPG dice. Somewhere here I got a couple free dice from Noble Knight Games for being such a quote-unquote good customer. I do spend way too much money there, and they sent me a couple of free dice. It's kind of odd, but it's like, ooh, how about send me something like a permanent discount coupon or something. Oh, Mansions of Madness dice pack. Good old wands and magnifying glasses and eldritch signs and stuff. Yeah, so I'm gonna call that quits, folks. This is like more than anyone, I'm sure no one is listening. If you listen to the end, send me a comment. And good through the end of the week. Good through this weekend only. If you send me a comment, I'll send you a gift. I'll send you some dice, right? Boy, more animal dice. Whatever. If you live too far away, you'll have to not in the U.S. only. But yeah. So I'm gonna call it quits now. I'm gonna have to obviously sort all these and figure out where to store all these. Remember, this is Meandering Mike at the Man Cave of Madness. Obviously, this is a form of madness. And this isn't even all the dice. There is another set besides these I use lately for role playing, and I had another kind of zip up pouch that had more of those dice. So I'm gonna call it quits here, folks. Meandering Mike from the Man Cave of Madness. 38 minutes in. Oh my gosh. All y'all out there have a good time, and don't do as I have done. If you have this many dice, question yourself, should I have them? I do not know. Well, take care, everyone. Bye.